can you talk about Maya? What exactly is it? What is that veil that essentially covers us from realizing this truth?
Shankaracharya raised this question. Now, to whom is this Maya? And then he himself responds, whoever is asking about it, it belongs to that very subject. Meaning, nanu kasyam avidya, like to whom does this ignorance, because whether or not ignorance as a category, Maya as a category exists, so anybody who is ignorant, to that person, there is that ignorance. Ignorance as such does not metaphysically exist. Or there is this ignorance, 1 kilo of ignorance, it doesn't happen like that.
Right.
So there is no absolute substantial nature of ignorance as such. For whoever is limited, that very limitation is what we describe from outside, that, okay, he has this limitation. So, but from the Trikasaiva perspective, we are not explaining Maya or Vidya in the same way. What they are, first of all, from the Advaita Vedanta perspective, they said Maya as a category is the factor that limits and projects what is not there, and what is it as such is it doesn't have its own characteristic, otherwise it will cause duality. But even without it having its own characteristic, it limits the subject. This is an exposition for describing how the finite beings act. What is stupidity? Stupidity is not something metaphysical entity. Stupidity is just a description of the mental state of a stupid person. So the same way. But we are not, from the Trika perspective, we are not saying Maya or Vidya in the same way. What we are saying is Mati Parichinati. We are going back to the roots. Maya is a Sanskrit word. Sanskrit word has verbal base and prefixes and suffixes. In this particular case, mang means to measure, to delimit. So what is Maya? The Maya is the mechanism of delimitation. So Maya is the process that allows to delimit entities. So let's say consciousness. That consciousness allows me to delimit my speech. Whatever the thoughts I have are limitations within consciousness, because consciousness as such is not conditioned in the form of those words. As I'm talking with you, I am delimiting consciousness into the mold of those words. I'm at the same time seeing you. I'm delimiting my consciousness into particular shape. I'm also conscious of the mic in front of me. I'm delimiting my consciousness into this. So this delimiting factor is Shakti, power. That very delimiting factor or Shakti is what we are calling Maya. Therefore, this is also real, because there is a mechanism that allows the infinite to be finite. And that is why the way we interpret Maya is not the same way as in the Advaita Vedanta. It's just illusion, it's not real, or it's how do you describe stupidity. So that's a very different definition than the way we are describing here.